This video is sponsored by PCBWay. Welcome everyone! In this video I'm going to show you the final version of my reflow hot plate device or soldering station. So you could see this device in some of my videos, either in some dedicated video for this specific construction, or in some other videos where I used this as a dedicated tool. But this has never been like a full, let's say, solidified kit or device. It has been always in some parts, and it was not really a well-developed system. But now I put everything together in a nice order, or at least I think it's in a nice order. So everything has its own place, everything has its own connection, and everything is nicely tidied up. So I would like to start with the electrical circuit, because that is what controls the whole thing, and that is based on this very nice PCB. So what this PCB does is that it contains all the controlling parts and all the other electrical parts that is needed to basically drive this heater. And as you can see it here on the right side of the picture, it is based on an Arduino Nano. So then that is controlling the display here, which is showing us the information regarding the process of the soldering, and it allows us to fully customize the reflow curve. So we can program any kind of reflow curve within, of course, some boundaries regarding temperatures and time, but those boundaries of course make sense, so they are entirely compatible with the available solder paste temperatures and times and requirements. And then the Nano also takes the readings of this thermocouple here. So there is a thermocouple module here that communicates with the microcontroller, and then it lets us to know what is the temperature on the surface here. So there is a K-type thermocouple which is touching the surface here and gives us the feedback. And then also the driving algorithm is based on the temperature reading here. And then another thing which is done by the Nano is basically one of the most important thing. It is switching this triac on and off. And what this triac does, it is controlled by an optocoupler that is the device which allows us to switch the triac with the Nano. And then the triac itself switches the live voltage, which is then driven to this mica heater, and then the mica heater switches on and off with a certain period based on the driving algorithm, and then we have a certain heating curve basically realized on the surface of this mica heater. And everything is powered by high voltage, mains voltage, with this grounded cable. That is very important. And the mains power comes into this black box, which converts the mains voltage into 5 volt, and it allows us to draw 600 milliamps. And that is an important limitation to keep in mind, because the final part which is done by the Nano is that it drives these two 4x4 centimeter fans, and they are directed on the surface of this plate. So at the end of the soldering process, these turn on for 1 minute or whatever you program for the length of the running, and they cool down the freshly soldered board and components. So that's that. And why I mentioned that this cable is grounded, because I made this part, I hope at least, safe, that the grounding comes in to one of these terminals, and then there is another terminal which is for the protective earth, and that runs under this board, and then you can see this wire here, and it is connected like electrically connected to this wall metal surface. So if anything goes wrong here, which would make this surface alive, then it would be grounded immediately, and hopefully it would trip my breaker. I have never tried it, but I tried the continuity checker between the ground terminal here and any random part of the surface, and it was beeping, which means that there was a good electrical connection. So I hope that when something would go wrong, I would be saved by this grounding here. And what is, let's say, new about this stuff is, of course, I have these nice ceramic pins or poles here, and then these ceramic poles basically hold the wall heater. And I did a trick here, so you can recognize that this guy here is basically just this office paper clip, and that holds it on this column here. So also it holds together this 2mm or 1.5mm thick aluminum sheet, and then under it you can see that that's the mica heater, and that's done of course at all corners, as you can see. And here you can see the grounding connected here. So the grounding comes in here and then it goes, yeah, it's an equipotential surface here now. And then this guy here is holding the mains cable. So there's a zip tie here, and then this has an adhesive layer on the back side, and of course there is a bolt there. And then you can see these gray bumps here. So those are the feet, and they are slightly higher than these sticking out bolts here. So then the wall plywood sheet is sitting on these different blobs here. And yeah, so the main circuit is then put on this plywood sheet, and it's an A4 size sheet. I think it's perfectly enough for this surface. Here you can see the fence, you can see this shiny layer, so I just put some aluminum foil on it to reflect the heat. I don't know how much it will work, but we will see. And then, as I said, the whole thing is based on this nice PCB, which is provided by the sponsor of this video, PCBWay. So if you want to get these PCBs and you want to build your own circuit, visit the link in the description, PCBWay.com, and you can buy these exact PCBs. I provided all the parts and all the software and everything for this project, so you can build your own version, and then you can choose your own heater. It doesn't have to be this mica heater, so it can be anything which works with main voltage, and then you can get your own version. Or if you have some other projects, then PCBWay can also help you. They can 3D print stuff for you, or machine and mill stuff for you, and they have also other types of PCBs which might be even more suitable for your projects. So please visit PCBWay.com and check their services and check their products, so you can find what suits you the best. So then, of course, just presenting this thing would not mean too much without actually testing it. So then what I will do is that I will assemble one of my favorite circuit, which I developed myself, and of course again PCBWay helped me to have the PCB for it. And then we will solder that thing here and see if the soldering was successful. So let me prepare that circuit, and after that we will have a nice close-up video about the soldering process. So now everything is assembled, and I put back this station to my desk, and then I put the assembled picked and placed PCB on the surface, the reflow surface, and then here you can see the small thermocouple, so the temperature sensing will happen here, and hopefully the temperature distribution will be enough, so when the program ends, then these parts will be also soldered. We will see. Otherwise I have to use the heat gun to fix the soldering issues. So now the mains power is connected but not turned on, so I turn this on. The fan starts, which is just indicating that I have started the microcontroller, and I see the reflow curve here, but unfortunately I have the reflow curve programmed for another type of solder paste, which is much lower melting temperature solder paste than I use here. I put the type somewhere at the bottom of the video, what I'm using here. And therefore I have to reprogram this, and that goes easily. So I just move above a certain value here. It is being highlighted with the yellow square, and then I just simply modify its part according to the reflow curve of this soldering paste. And I'm not going to go through all of these and describe it to you, so I just quickly do it, and then when it's done, we continue working. So the soldering curve is completed. So in 30 seconds we go up to 100 degrees Celsius, and then in 120 seconds, 2 minutes, we go up to 150 degrees Celsius, and then in 150 seconds we go up to 183 degrees Celsius, and then 210 seconds we go up to 235 degrees Celsius. So that's done. So all I have to do is I make sure that everything is connected properly and it's true, so I can just start the soldering procedure. So let's see what happens. So the soldering is done, so let's check what we have done here. So I can see that there is no short circuits around this area, and then we can see that everywhere else it's quite neat, I could say. I could improve the button and its soldering. Maybe I will do that manually. As you can see, there could be more solder there, but otherwise everything is fine. The voltage reference, the voltage buffer, of course the AD converter looks fine, and then finally the filtering capacitor and resistor pair here, and the 3.3 voltage power source, so that's all fine. So I'm going to power this up and test it if it works properly. So the goal here is the following. I have the USB cable with some simple wire endings, and I have a power supply here which is now set to 5 volts and 100 milliamps. And what I'm going to do here is that I power this up and see how much current is being drawn by this circuit, and I can see if there is a short circuit or something wrong going on, because then I will see it on the power draw. And then here with this multimeter I will measure the different tabs which I placed on this PCB, and those tabs are the 5 volt, the 3.3 volt and the voltage reference values. So we can see if they give the proper value. If they do, then I believe then the rest of the circuit is working properly as well. So let's see if I power it up and if it burns down or not. It's not really visible, but there is a green LED here which is on, and there is another which is on. This indicates the 5 volt is working, and this indicates that the 3.3 volt is working. So let's check if the voltage tells the same story. So this is now our 5 volt. This is our 3.3. and this is our 2.5 volt voltage reference. So it's more or less 2.5. So the circuit works. Of course, I will check it on USB as well, and then I will program it. And by the way, you can buy this circuit. Just drop me an email and I can ship this to you anywhere around the world. So just let me know. But the main attraction of this video was obviously the soldering station. So then once again, if you want to buy these PCBs, you can go to PCBWay.com. Link is in the description, and you can find my project on their website, where I documented everything carefully, so you can see which part goes where. And if you also go to my Patreon website and support me, you can get the source code for this soldering station as well. So then it's really just a plug and play stuff. And also you can go to my projects on PCBWay.com and get this PCB if you want to assemble it yourself with your own parts. So please visit their website and you will find a lot of interesting products for yourself. And now, since this soldering station is done, I will finish up this project. So I hope you find this project useful. I hope you found it interesting as well, and see you in the next video.